Am I in focus? I don't know. Spider-Man Venom Maximum Carnage. Spider-Man Venom Maximum Carnage is based on the comic book of the same name. It was a story arc, an epic story arc, that took place over 14 issues and 5 different Spider-Man titles. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it sucked. The basic premise is great. Carnage, Shriek, Carrion, Doppelganger, and Demogoblin come together to wreak havoc on New York City. Spider-Man, Venom, and a whole group of ragtag heroes have to come together to stop them. Sounds great, right? Lots of potential, right? Sadly, the actual comic book is very poorly executed. The game, however, skips the bad bits and keeps in the necessary plot points for pushing the game forward. So this is one instance where I would say that the game is actually better than the source material that it's based upon. And the actual one of the best subtle things about this game is that the story actually influences the gameplay and the presentation. Presentationally speaking, this game gets a super A++. It's fantastic, truly. There are also cutscenes that recreate the look of the panels from the comic and add motion to it. Thwips and kapows pop up on screen during gameplay, and the audio is superb. Every punch is punctuated by a satisfying crack. Every grunt and groan is perfect. And Carnage's laugh is the quintessential mark of a 16-bit villain. And yes, there was a knee slap you heard. The real star in the audio department, however, is definitely the music. The music was made by the band Green Jello. And yes, it's pronounced Jello. There was legal stuff, just look it up. It's a 90s metal band making 90s music for a 90s game based on 90s comics, which was influenced by metal from the 90s. Lord, I miss the 90s. The music in this game is some hard rockin' 16-bit greatness. The music during gameplay just gets you pumped. Let's listen. Mob Rules by Black Sabbath was ripped off for this game, and I totally love it for it. But it isn't just the level music that's good, all of the music and its uses are fitting. The music during the cutscenes is a subtle downplayed tune that gives the feeling of quiet yet foreboding as the plot slowly thickens. Whereas the music during the game over scene is just utter dread. I mean, it's just, mwah. The gameplay is also pretty good. It's nothing overly fancy, straightforward. It's a beat 'em up, and it's pretty good. Granted, it's missing 2-player co-op, but it's still pretty good. You can play Spider-Man and later Venom, and you go through various stages, all of which are based on locations in the comics. In your arsenal of attacks, you get a punch combo, a web swing, a web line that brings people to you, ties them up, creates a shield, or, if positioned correctly, it will slam 2 enemies into each other. You also can get a backflip kick and an attack that hits everything around you, but also drains a little of your health. It's that attack that's in every beat 'em up game where you can hit everybody on the screen, but you're gonna lose half your health, so you never end up using it anyway. It's just that thing. Venom has all the same attacks, just aesthetically redesigned for him. You also get these icons in the game that are faces of other characters in the game, and then you can use those icons to summon these characters to aid you in combat. But depending upon whether or not it's Spider-Man or Venom will determine how these people attack. Like, for instance, if you call in Iron Fist for Spider-Man, he'll heal you, but if you call him in for Venom, he'll kill everybody on the screen. The cool aspect about this part of the gameplay is that you can't choose to play as Venom or use certain character icons in the game until you reach the point in the story where those characters appear, which sounds like a no-duh type of thing, but this is a beat-em-up from 1993. That's a really good amount of attention to detail. Your enemies are regular people. Sometimes you'll get into boss fights with strange people who become regular enemies afterwards. These enemies are a little strange, like women that hurt you with their hair when they headbang, and the bald umbrella dudes who skyrocket jump into the air and then float down like Mary Poppins. And can you believe that those little bald guys are actually the hardest regular enemies in the game? The game itself has some great replay value. As I said, you can play as Spider-Man or Venom, but you don't have the option to play as Venom until about midway through the game. There are a couple of opportunities to switch between the two, and although their paths overlap, there are unique levels for each character. So, a second playthrough is a must. There are also many secrets in the game. Secret rooms and a secret level where Venom fights in the head of the Statue of Liberty. Be aware though, all of the secrets and shit in this game that are secret are incredibly cryptic. They're all weird things like do a triple backflip and then get hit through a thing while collecting a heart to go to a secret room. It's weird shit like that. It's like point and click game level weird crypticness. All in all, I'd say Spider-Man Venom Maximum Carnage is the best damn Spider-Man game that's ever been made. Incidentally, it's also my favorite Spider-Man game. It's the game that I've played the most. Correction, hold on, let me go back. It's not my favorite Spider-Man game. It's my favorite game. I played this game the most. I love it. If you can find it, pick it up. I think I bought mine for $12 maybe 20 years ago. You can find it, I'm sure, easily, unless you're looking for like the QVC Collector's Edition, in which case you'll never find it. It's fucking expensive. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you like this video, please subscribe, and if you do subscribe, please click the bell for notifications. If you would like to help me make other cool things, please give to my Patreon, which you can find under Would You Kindly Productions. And if you like horror and other horror things, please check out my other channel, Dreams of Strange Cities. Links in the description. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I've got a question for you before I begin tonight's video. You see Spider-Man 2, the thing with Tobey Maguire and Dr. Octopus and such and such. Alright, so I have a question about this movie. I think this is an important question. This is a question that I've been wanting to ask for a while. So if anybody knows or has any ideas, comment below. But here's the question, and the question requires a little bit of a preface. So Dr. Octopus has the metal arms fused to his spine, and there's an inhibitor chip on the metal arms that prevent the artificial intelligence of the arms from taking over his brain and influencing him. The inhibitor chip gets destroyed in the ensuing accident during the presentation when he shows off with the giant ball of energy thing that he's created. So later in the movie, he's trying to decide what to do when he's in like the abandoned warehouse and he's in tattered rags and everything, and the arms, they like start talking to him. They're like brah, 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 and he's like, oh, what did I do? I can't rebuild. And the arms are like, he starts doing that thing, that thing where he's talking to himself like Norman Osborn did in the first movie, and he goes, you're right, it would be a crime if I didn't keep pursuing my thing. And the arms are like, bro, you should build the thing, but you don't hear it. It's a voice inside his head, as he says. Okay, so here's my question. In Spider-Man 2, what exactly are the arms, Dr. Octopus's metal arms' motivations for convincing him to build the reactor again? What is the purpose? Is it that the movie is in actuality about an evil AI system that wants to destroy humanity? Is that what the movie is really about? I want to know. Somebody, if you know, comment in the comments below. This is a question I've had forever. What are the arms' motivations for having him build the reactor again?